Good morning, and ladies and gentlemen, member of the media, welcome to our 40-footer container. I apologize if the condition on air conditioning is not as good, but we want to basically bring you to site to see one of the milestones, what Raymond is saying. Because for the MRT project, a lot of people are saying they have not seen any physical work. Actually, there's a lot of work that's currently already happening at the Sungai Buloh site on the depot. There's already land preparation at the RRI land, and at the Cochrane staging area for the tunnel boring machine, there's also some works already done. And along the side of Jalan Ceras, you will see also some of the works being done. It's just that you don't realize that probably is the work for the MRT. At the same time, if you pass through the Jalan Semantan, you will see some clearing there. That also work related to the MRT project. But today, I think marks the beginning of a work that probably will be visible because of the high traffic flow in this area. And this is why we would like to invite all of you to basically share what are some of the safety measures, because one of the concern in a heavy traffic area such as Bus Stand Klang and Jalan Sultan is what are kind of measures being put in place. Today, I think is also the start to basically say that the new MRT underground station for Pasar Seni work is commencing. As you know, the Pasarama Kota, or better known as the Bus Stand Klang, has ceased operation on 31st October last year, and it is no doubt an iconic place. I was told that in its peak, daily about 5,000 people are actually moving from that area. And with the work that are going to happen for the station for MRT, we hope that it also will become one of the iconic place, a meeting place, because a lot of people are saying that Bus Stand Klang, where I was dating last time, and so it holds so many memories for people. So we hope the new MRT Pasar Seni station will also become that meeting place for people. At its peak, the Pasar Seni station can probably handle about 25,000 people per hour per direction in its peak. So this will provide an increased traffic and mobility and also accessibility to this area. So as you know, the MRT project is one of the key projects in the Greater Kuala Lumpur and Klang Valley NKEA. Because one of the hallmark of a city, of a good world-class city, is a good public transportation. And this project actually is in line with the target to make Kuala Lumpur one of the top 20 most livable and vibrant city by the year 2020. So the project that we are witnessing today is in line with that target to make KL a better city and a world-class city, having a world-class transportation system. One of the things that we like to share today, which my colleague Alvin will take you through the slide, is that what are some of the measures that will be undertaken during the construction. Because this is quite an important consideration, because for MRT Corporation, we want to put safety and also the traffic condition in that area in such a way that it's business as usual. More often than not, you will not realize that some of the work are actually happening, because once from today they will be putting in hoarding and putting safety measures, that by June they will start the actual work. So to take you through the pull down sequence of the three areas, which is the Bus Stand Klang, the Plaza Warisan, and the UO Superstore, or better known as Uda Ocean Superstore. I invite my colleague Alvin to take us through the slide, and after that, if we have questions, we can have a Q&A question on this. Yeah, thank you very much.
Of this Pasar Seni MRT station, these 3 buildings that we mentioned by Encik Haris would have to pull down. Right? This is a view of the 3 buildings I'm talking about: the Uda Ocean, Plaza Warisan, and Klang Bus Stand. So I'll give you a general overview of the flow chart, the flow sequence of what we are about to do. The building has been handed over in somewhere in November of last year. Then we followed with the termination of utilities, because we must ensure that the water, electricity, all has been cut off. Then the contractor will have to go and apply for all these permits to get take down plans, the hoarding, and they will have to resurvey the building. For information, all this building, when we took over, there is no disputes. There is no disputes of the building. So therefore, the contractor have to appoint an engineer, a professional engineer, to restudy or re-engineer the building, so that they know what are the steps to bring down the buildings. So once the plan is in place, the contractor would have to install the perimeter hoarding, catch platform, because when you want to demolish top down, you need to put this safety hoarding and all sorts of things. Then they will go into this removals, concurrently removal of combustible, or what you call the soft stripping. As you know, that inside the buildings you have plaster ceilings, you got downlights and all these things. All these things will have to go to expose the structural slabs. And concurrently, they will also be erecting the scaffolding, internal slab proppings. Once all these safety measures are in place, the contractor would then hoist up the excavator breaker to the roof slab and start the pulling down from the roof to the ground. This is what I mentioned as the demolition from top down. Of course, during the process, recyclable materials, if they can salvage, the contractor will salvage these materials. And as they finish up the work, it's housekeeping and cleaning. So this is a general overview, but I will go into a little bit of the details. Now, the box in magenta is the proposed MRT station box. That is the reason why we need to redevelop these 3 government-owned buildings, which is Klang Bus Stand, Plaza Warisan, and the UO Superstore. All right. Okay, for your information, in Malaysia, there is called a code of practice for demolition in Malaysia, in buildings. So we want to ensure that all the contractors comply with this MS 2318-2010, a Malaysian standard code of practice for bringing down the buildings. You see, in the code of practice, there are samples on the method envisaged by the Syrian on how to bring about pull down of the buildings. Like, for example, safety issues like having these scaffoldings, industrial nettings, all must be in place. The building needs to be props, because the machine will be sitting on the slabs, so it has to be props. And all these have to be calculated, certified by a professional engineer. Yep. These are the sequence. Once you break the roof, you go down to the subsequent slabs, and then all the way you go down. So safety measures, we are talking about hoarding, walkway, covered walkways for the pedestrians' convenience. You will have things like the industrial netting that not only comes in 1 layer, but the contractor has to provide 3 layers. Tarpaulin netting, heavy industrial netting, and this what you call that, something like this sheeting. So this is a picture of a recent project carried out. These are what I mentioned: 1 layer of industrial netting, 1 layer of tarpaulin, and 1 layer of heavy duty industrial netting. This is to prevent flying objects, all right, from debris from penetrating out. Just now I was talking about floor proppings. These are actually pictures taken from a recent project. We are putting this type of heavy duty prop system to prop the building, because you are putting a heavy machinery on top. You're talking about having a breaker, hydraulic machine which weighs about 20 tons sitting on the slab, so it has to be calculated. And these are examples of floor plans where to put all the props is being certified and calculated by the professional engineer. So this is a slide showing as the contractor has done all the safety propping, then they only bring a excavator hoisted up to the roof, and together with a bobcat, then they start bricking the slabs. As I mentioned, back propping to be checked by a professional engineer before excavator is allowed to be hoisted. Work sequence. Physical hacking works will be carried out on a floor-to-floor basis, starting from the slab, then you go into the beams, and finally the columns. So the excavator machine will be lowered down using something like this type of ramps. It's a steel ramp so that it can actually start to march down to the lower floors. Okay, as soon as the building is brought down to a manageable level, which we think about less than 3 story, then things will be done in a different manner. They will put the machine on the ground floor, then use a long arm excavator, which is about 20 footer or 40 footer, and they will break the slabs from the ground. Right? One thing is good is there is better control because you can have more machines sitting on the ground. All right? Then it will be a quicker method to bring down the building. In terms of debris and traffic management, things like paved access, all right, stabilized access will be in place to control the ingress and egress of lorries, whereas you have people like a general worker to ensure that the wheels are being washed off. We do not foresee any silts because these are purely concrete debris. It's not like what you see in earthworks where a lot of muds and all those things. It will not have that kind of scenario. Then there will be a traffic management team. Contractor actually appointed a professional traffic management team to oversee the traffic during the ingress and egress of the lorries. All right. So basically, this the presentation material on this pull down of the buildings. Yeah. Haris.
So, okay, thank you, Alvin.
Yep.
It's just a bit tight, so walking back and forth. What we'd like to do right now is to have it open to the floor for any sort of questions, and anything that we can answer, we'll take. Anything to do with Dana Infra is not us, yeah? So whatever you see in the papers today on Dana Infra is, we can't answer that. But anything else related to the topic at hand today, I think we'll take on. Yeah? Any questions? There's an interesting presentation. Any questions at all?